In Hebraic writing. In Hebraic writing. Somebody told me this was a real thing. I thought they were crazy. Loco. Then when I went down to the caves to actually check it out here in Puerto Rico, what we found was rather astonishing. Because upon closer look and examination, you start to see that each continent is connected through a common language or through common characters or paleo writings or groups of writings that we find on each island. When you go down this cave, is connected to the ocean basically, you're going to find a lot of these writings. They're going to match up with the paleo. It's absolutely wild when I started to compare a lot of these writings. They were absolutely like identical to the paleo. Not the modern day Hebrew, but the original Hebrew. A whole bunch of crosses, tavs, a whole bunch of shins. Even see the character hey, where a man is holding his hands up. It's a character of a man. I could see why they don't want people to actually know their own history, why they wouldn't want Puerto Ricans to know that they are Hebrews. Now remember, can a nation be built in a day, my friends? No, it cannot. Neither were you guys. Information, your history didn't start in 1492. Information has been around since basically almost the beginning of time. This place is so historic. That's the letter hey that I was talking about earlier. But there's so much here in the island or on the island of Puerto Rico. Studying the history of the islands worldwide helps to connect every continent, every tribe,
Shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Yahweh being the true name of Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name for His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, a great millstone to taught us truth and will well. Salutations to you, hopefully, like pushing this truth and on honest sincerity. This is Brother Yahusap, because listen to the Spirit Power Yahweh Shai. And let's listen through the Spirit. Came across this edifying video one of the brothers shared on Instagram. And what this shows is Paleo Hebrew found in Puerto Rico, which proves that what we've been saying is true. The apostles and elders of GMS, and they had it right, man. They have it right. Okay, we've been telling you so-called Puerto Ricans are Hebrew Israelites, and here is archaeological evidence right in your face. This is writings that are, extremely old. I'm not sure if I would say thousands, but definitely over hundreds of years. And Esau, Edom, all these quote-unquote explorers, you think they haven't seen all this stuff like hundreds of years ago, or when they first came over here? They knew, man. Christopher Columbus, Cristobal Colon, okay, that Jewish person, which he was. They try to say, he was Spaniard, but he really has been evidence that came out. This guy was a JEW, Amalek, okay. He came here, and the way he navigated here and knew we were here is through reading the scriptures, the Apocrypha, which we're going to get. And he came here with Hebrew interpreters, and those interpreters were able to understand the ancient form of broken Hebrew that the tribes were speaking here. And this is how they were able to communicate and able to trade at first. And, once they found out they did in fact have great riches and gold, they came and did the rape, rob, pillage, and genocide and enslaved us. But they've known who we are, for hundreds of years over here. This isn't new news to them. They've just been hiding it and trying to, get us to not know. So it can help with their, brainwash into that they were over us and keeping us down as slaves. But if we knew that we were God's chosen people, okay, if we knew our power, we had our scriptures and everything, they wouldn't have been able to be successful to do what they did. Because once we call upon our true name, our power, and we're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord has always been in our defense. But our people dropped the ball in ancient times. They began to worship other Assyrian gods and things like that over here in Americas. And so we went off, so the Lord allowed us to go into captivity. Okay, but you can see that they got the Lord's name carved into the stone, Yahweh, right there. So, hey, this is all just evidence resurfacing, coming back out and being exposed. The truth is being spread. Okay. This is the book of Psalms 85:11. It says, "Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven." So truth shall spring out of the earth. And out of the earth, you just seen it. Literally, it's happening. Truth is springing out. You can go to them caves. You got people going traveling and visiting, seeing the world, pulling out their smartphones, and they're recording this stuff. Just like the Lost Lunar Stones over in Mexico or New Mexico. That's another one. Okay. And over here, it's when you research the Taino history, and the languages that we use, and what they call, our power. They call them Yah, or Yah short for Yahweh. Other Native American tribes call them Yohewa, that's literally means Yahweh. So hey, we've been here, man. And here's the voyage of how, the tribe of Ephraim, or Joseph, also known as Joseph, got over here, as well as the other 10 tribes of the Hebrew Israelites. 2nd Esdras 13:40 says, "Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive." So we got carried away in the slave ships during the time of the Assyrian Empire. Okay, it says, "And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt." So they took counsel, the Israelites, that they would flee and spread out. Okay, and that's what they did in the continents of North and South America once they arrived. Second Esdras 13:42, that they might keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. So they would try to actually keep the law, statutes, and commandments, which is no coincidence that you see the Hebrew writings carved into stone. They made sure they carved it into the stone. They had knowledge to make paper and do all of that, but they carved them into the stone of the rocks. Okay, so they were very serious about it. Some of them. Okay. It says, "And they entered into the Euphrates, but in narrow places of the river." So this is going all the way back over there into the continent, over there in the Middle East. Okay, Euphrates River. That was the passage that's used to get into the Indian Ocean. Okay, when the flood season hits, that river had enough water for boats to sail in them. It says, "For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over." So during monsoon season, it floods. And the Lord said he held it still. I mean, he kept the flood there long enough for them to sail out of there. Okay? "For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. The same region is called Arsareth." Okay, and that's talking about over here in the Americas, man. Atlanta called Arsareth was talking about North and South America. Okay. King Solomon, he had great riches, that he had those trade routes, and he had that year and a half route to get over here to the United States. All you gotta do is go into the ocean, sail around the bottom of Africa, and that voyage takes a year and a half by sailing, with stopping and trading and in China and Asia, because they hit all them countries, man. Hit the Euphrates, and if you're looking at the world US map, you can get it. Okay, so here we got the map here. Let's see if I can write on the screen, just to draw out the voyage, basically what the voyage that takes a year and a half. Okay, so Euphrates would have been here. They would have entered to the Persian Gulf. Okay, and remember, this time period is a great flood. All right, and once you hit there's certain wind currents that take place around here, and they would have took them down this way, okay, and then they would have, of course, remember, Syrians is carrying Israelite slaves. All right, so all these slaves are being traded and dropped off, coming all the way around here. They hit another current that takes them right around here. Okay. Keep going here. Come up, around, and the wind currents take them. Then you get the transatlantic slave trade current, which literally takes you right over there to the modern day land of Puerto Rico. Okay. So you can see their roots here, man. Okay. So if we go on further here, let's continue to draw it out. So once they come down, hit the transatlantic slave current, and you can hit here. Okay, it also takes you right here to Puerto Rico, which is called Richport. And this is the land right here. These two are called ISRAELITES. And this is what Cristobal Colon used to get over here. These scriptures and this voyage to know that we were here. And anywhere that Israel resides, they're well known of the talents that we have, the gifts, and how the Lord blesses us, that we're going to be carrying wealth and extremely smart and strong manpower for slaves. So all he did is hop on that transatlantic slave trade current as well, and quote unquote discovered America, which was some bullshit, because the Israelites had been discovered this place. King Solomon had riches and things going like that, doing trade and hitting them currents and coming back and bringing them right on up, man. Way before Cristobal Colon. That's the explanation of all these Paleo-Hebrew writings that he talked about in the video. Okay? So, we've been here, man. Our people have been here. And we're reading about the voyage in the scriptures. Okay, says, for that country there was a great way to go, namely of 1.5 years, and the same region is called ISRAELITES. In which, if you pay attention to that map I showed you, remember all them countries that were passing by? All them Asian countries and China and Australia, and all our people been dropped off over there. So we've been scattered everywhere across the whole 4 corners of the earth, as the scripture said too. Which is why you have, prominent warriors in places like the Philippines and Thailand and China. Those are Israelites that had that warfare knowledge, mighty warriors that dropped off in them countries. So a lot of them martial arts you find in these Asian areas, there's Israelites invented all those arts, man. That's why you got people like Bruce Lee coming out of there. That's an Israelite, man. It looks like a Asian Chinese man, but no, it's an Israelite, man. Okay, so hey, we've been telling y'all this truth, and now it's coming out even more. This is Romans 9:26, and it says, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living God. So this is a prophecy that's saying in a place that we're told that we're just slaves, we're just spicks, niggers, tomahawks, coons, all these bywords, man. All these bywords. Wetbacks. We're called anything and everything under the sun. Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, African Americans, Negroes, Native American. And the place that we were not called the Lord's people, there we shall be called the children of the living God. So now they're discovering more evidences, and people are starting to call us for who we are. We are the Israelites. And we're starting to know who we are. There's a lot of people that know the Israelites are knowing that they're Israelites now, because of this work that brother's been pushing out in this ministry, man. And that's that truth that has sprung out the earth, man. You know, so that's your pod, that more archaeological evidence that came out. You know, and the Lord's got more that he's going to be bringing out too. So Lord's build us lessons edified. I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaKadosh. Double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, taught us truth and will well. And salutations to Jehovah, pushing this truth, sincerity. Shalom.